Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with FoneArena.com and you're watching the video review of the Notion Ink Atom 2, the successor to the ill-fated Notion Ink Atom. The Atom 2 loses its predecessor's pixel cheese screen and opts for a refreshed design and look with modest specs to fill a mid-range pricing. At Rs 16,999 for the base Wi-Fi version, is the Atom 2 worth your money? Let's find out. The design of the Atom 2 is refreshing. It is made to look like a book with large bezels on the left hand side when held in portrait. This makes for a comfortable hold and a very textbook-like form factor. To match the look, the company even has added a secondary display on the spine for at-a-glance information. Predominantly made of metal, the build quality is very good and naturally is one of the standout factors of this device. We just wish all this fit in a smaller form factor though, like a 8-inch device, because the device is too cumbersome and impractical to use in landscape as well as portrait, which is the way it is primarily intended to be used. Let's go through the hardware now. The tablet, meant to be held in portrait, has a large bezel on the left, which packs stereo speakers, the 3.2 megapixel front-facing camera, and a microphone primarily used for video calls. The display is covered by the Asahi Dragon Trail glass but is still highly reflective and a fingerprint magnet too. Assuming everything is in portrait, the right side is empty but there are a lot of connectivity options at the bottom. You have the micro USB slot with OTG support, mini HDMI port for display out, a micro SD card slot for adding up to 32GB of memory, and finally a SIM slot for data connectivity in the 3G variant. You also have the volume rocker sitting at the edge of the same side. The back, which is flat and minimalistic, sports the Notion Ink Atom logo and also the secondary rear camera on the right. It is good to know that this tablet is indeed designed in India, in Bangalore. Over at the top, we have the power lock switch and the 3.5mm audio jack. Over at the left, we have the spine of the device, which also sports a 2-part LCD screen. This is always on even when the device is turned off and acts like a textbook's label. You can configure the message it says on the left and it displays the time on the right by default. Of course, this works great for at-a-glance information, hence notifications can be configured to be displayed here. A nice little touch, but works great if you just want to see if you have any notifications without turning on the screen and put the tablet aside. The display is a 10.1-inch IPS LCD with a resolution of 1280 by 800, which brings it to 150 ppi of pixel density. This is very low for a 10-inch tablet at this point in time, as other tablets have moved to high DPI displays. It is also highly reflective and not optimal to use in outdoors, which is practically the opposite of Atom 1. The viewing angles too are terrible and makes this just an average display. But we can see that it is deliberately done due to the pricing. The internals are powered by the Rockchip RK3066 chipset, which comes with a 1.5 GHz dual-core Cortex A9 processor. The graphics are powered by the Mali 400 quad-core GPU and is accompanied by a GB of DDR3 RAM. On paper, this seems like a very good performer, but in reality, it is otherwise. We ran some synthetic benchmarks to test the performance out and found that the CPU is average while the Mali 400MP GPU performs really well. This literally translated to day-to-day performance as we saw repeated slowdowns both due to the CPU as well as the insufficient 1GB of RAM. However, the videos and games play well on this device, which is a good sign that the GPU is really powerful. But overall experience, if you ask us, is just average and sometimes really frustrating due to the single tasking nature of performance. Other interesting hardware parts of the Atom 2 include the stereo loudspeakers, the cameras and the spine display. As mentioned earlier, the spine display is a way to get at-a-glance information and is actually a 2-piece 100x5 STN LCD panel, which works even when the device is in standby. The stereo speakers are surprisingly true stereo, and you can notice the difference between the two channels when listening in landscape. The 3.2MP BSI cameras on both the front and back are great for video calling, but we wouldn't suggest using it for taking pictures. The tablet also comes with a ton of connectivity options like Wi-Fi 3G in the mobile variant, microSD expansion up to 32GB, and finally the much needed USB OTG micro USB slot, which is really great for a big tablet. It supports all kinds of accessories like keyboard and mouse up to portable hard disks. The SIM slot is a full-size SIM slot and we found it hard to use to pop in a SIM, but otherwise data worked just fine, but of course you cannot make calls. Coming to software, the tablet runs pure AOSP Android 4.2.2 out of the box. It's completely stripped of major modifications and only includes small tweaks like a screenshot button for the nav layout and a secondary display option for small modifications. The UI too gains some small tweaks for better landscape usage like a notification and status bar at the bottom right along with the navigation shortcuts on the screen at the bottom left. In the end, we find two main problems with the Notion Ink Atom 2. The form factor is too big for ideal textbook-like usage for reading or even creation, especially with the low-resolution 1280x800 screen at 10 inches. We would definitely like a smaller 8-inch form factor with a slightly better screen and the same resolution, which works better for the screen size. Next is performance. We found it too hard to give it a pass as it constantly became non-performing over the course of usage. If Notion Ink can fix these two problems and retain the beautiful design and build, they'll have a customer in me. But if you're still in the market for a really cheap 10-inch tablet that now sells for a holiday discount of just $13,999, the Notion Ink might not just be the right fit, but it might even surprise you with the build quality and design. Go for that in that case. Listed here are the pros and cons of this device. And that's about it for the review. Do check out our full review, the links are in the description below. We hope you liked the review, do hit the like button if you did and subscribe to our channel for more videos like these. Let us know what you think in the comment section below and thanks for watching.